The losers bracket final. We are still at the Healing Cup, or the Healing League as they call it. 3,500 euros in prize money are on the line here, and now we have Where's My Money against C8. So, losers bracket final, and let's see which team is going to take the lead in this best of 5 series. So again, we have more best of 5s coming up, and Aldrich Pass is our starting map. So this should be a fairly interesting one. We got a couple of Chinese and Korean players over on the side of C8. And honestly, going into the tournament, for me personally, they were definitely one of the favorites. If you remember, in the winner bracket, they went off against Team Beast Titan. All of these Attack on Titan fan teams were doing exceptionally well up to this point. And C8 was eventually defeated and dropped into the losers bracket, so now they have another chance to claw their way from victory to victory towards the grand final. But for that, they have to take down Where's My Money. And I personally still think that at least in this series, they are going to be the favorite team. I'm curious to see if they can make it all the way to the grand final, if they're maybe going to be stopped here or in the next round. But either way, we're going to witness it. There's no specific rules for picks and bans, as we've already gone over, so you can just go into a normal draft, standard stuff. We have Falstad banned out on a bitmap like Aldrich Pass. The question obviously here is oftentimes what happens with Valla. She's someone that gets pretty much always banned on the side of the Korean teams. But in addition to that, you have a few other heroes that also really stand out in Aldrich Pass, and at least for the front line, Nuburak has a bit of a special position here because he can also cheese the objective, which we've gone over in the past several times. But they ban Genji, so we might see a Valla pick. We should see a Valla pick. I mean, at this point, you have essentially 5 picks before we're going into the next ban phase, and there she is. Insta-pick on Valla. So, yeah, finally a bit more cowgirl action from the Korean teams here on the Asia server. I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. There was definitely not enough Valla in this tournament. She is such a high priority ban for all of the teams that she saw just very, very little playtime. So, yep, there we go. Also, again, apologies. I know we had a couple of games where we did not have drafts. The time difference is sometimes a bit of a problem, and I'm trying to cover as many of those as they happen, and all of the games that I can't catch live. Usually I get the replays right after they happened and can then commentate them a little bit later in the day, or at least try to do that. So yeah, there is obviously a bit of a schedule problematic here for sure. But we get Hogger and we get Tychus. And right now, it shows again how high in priority for these teams Tychus indeed is. We have Anduin and we have Zeratul. I'm already liking what I'm seeing here from Where's My Money. First of all, they're one of the few teams that busted out a Valla, also because she wasn't banned here. But also, we get Zeratul, and that's pretty sweet too. Now, I'm here for that. And I want to see what C8 is doing, because C8 was pretty much gambling. C8 looked at this and they thought, okay, we want to get rid of Genji, we are willing to let Valla through, and they must have known that the chances of Valla being a first pick for the blue team were exceptionally high. So, from their point of view, they must think that they can deal with it. Sergeant Hammer ban, haven't seen too many of those here either, of course. Hammer was not really a hero that was heavily contested in the games in the Asian meta. Anduin, of course, light bomb, no light bomb. That is actually a question when we're talking about Korean and Chinese games. Over on the European side, it's pretty much light bomb and nothing else. But Korea has now shown many times the bubble. Muradin and Brightwing. Yeah, get the Storm Bolts there at the front. No Nubarak to be found. There's obviously still a chance that the blue team is going to go for one. But I think their draft is already clearly indicating that they're not necessarily just looking at the objective. It's more so team fights. They could go for a dive if they wanted to, but there's also a lot more beefy frontliners that they can pick if they want to shield Valla and have more sustain there. And they go for ETC. Still a bit of a favorite on that side, with Blaze coming in. So 3 melees essentially, 1 melee assassin, and where Valla is the only real range damage dealer for the team. But with that, we now look at the final pick, and it has to be a bit more damage for C8. They definitely need to have a bit more than what they're currently running here. Tychus alone is not going to be enough. So what's going to be the plan? And this is the starting map, so this sets the pace. It is Maiev. She can definitely bring in the damage, can also follow up on a lot of these plays, and they want Valla, so they're going to try and make a play for her. Aldrich Pass, everybody. Map number 1 in the loser bracket final between Where's My Money and C8. Game number 1 in the best of 5 series. On the left in blue, where's my money? We finally have a Valla locking in the auto attacks immediately. No double support, keep that in mind. So they're really relying only on Anduin for heals. They have Zeratul, Blaze and ETC at the front to try and keep the opponent busy to create some space for Valla. And ETC, of course, can do that quite literally. So he's going to do his best to just like shield her. Whereas C8 is of course going to try and use Maiev to get close to her. We have Brightwing, we have Hogger, Muradin is there for Stormbolts, and then the main damage from the back with Tychus. And already adjustments with move unseen taken by Zeratul. So he is a bit of a wild card. We don't see as many Zeratul games these days as we've seen, let's say, a year ago. So the meta has definitely shifted away from him, and he can eventually come in and be played here. But yeah, we'll see what exactly they can pull off of that. Reset, as we've seen continuously in the tournament, is again playing support, so he's sitting here on Brightwing in this case. We have for Valla already a couple of stacks with the Creed of the Hunter as the level 1 talent, which is pretty much the... Again, if you're talking more about the European meta, and particularly when we're talking about Battlefield of Eternity, you're playing arrow builds, you have some other maps where arrow builds can be strong, occasional multi-shot can also appear there, but of course the majority of games that you see these days, Valla will go into an auto-attack style. It's just when she gets picked on the European side, who don't value her nearly as highly as the Koreans here do, then traditionally it would be with 2 supports, could be Uther doubling as main tank and second support, but you want to have a bit more to keep her alive here. Whereas over here, we just need to see what exactly they can do with that. So, let's see what we can actually pull off. By the way, I just heard also a rumor that there's a +1, that C8 is already in the lead for this series, because apparently there was a penalty for their opponents. I'm going to confirm that during the break of the next match, but just so that you guys have already a little bit of a hint there. I don't know if that's just a rumor, if that's actually true, but I'm going to confirm it later. So there is a chance that C8 has already an advantage over the blue team for some tournament violation, some rule violation, and a penalty that incurred. But we're going to talk about that later. For now, though, we are still assuming, well, it is technically the first game, no matter what the score is. We get Death Dealer here. Zeratul is continuing after the move unseen with Rending Cleave, and Muradin seems to be going straight into his Reverberation, meaning that later on it will likely be on level 13, the Bronze Bear Rage, to give him some additional sustainability here. Zeratul, the one all the way up at the top and down to the bottom. Seems like Maiev is looking for a bit of additional mana before she makes any big plays there. So, yeah, there we go. And Valla, stacking. Trying to get your stacks together. It's also important that you stay alive, so that you have the attack speed, particularly on level 16. The combination with Manticore is, of course, fairly impactful. We've been talking about this in the past quite a lot. You want to get stacks, you want to have more damage on the auto attacks, but more so than anything else, the auto attack speed, you want to keep it, or as much of it as possible. If you die once or twice, you know, it's more or less expected, but if it gets completely reset and you just get farmed all day long, then you are going to be in trouble, particularly if you don't at least offset that with decent stacks. But generally speaking, priority is make sure that you don't die. Make sure you keep the auto attack speed, so that with level 16 you can really pressure the front line of your opponent. Now, with that said, we get on the bot lane, still a little bit of a dance around. Camps, of course, have to be taken as quickly as possible. One of the most important features when we're talking about Alterac Pass just generally. And later on, at the 5-minute mark, bosses will appear too. Objective, of course, something that's already up. But most of the time, we have to wait until level 7 until teams are even considering it. Sometimes even until level 10, even though that's a bit of the exception lately. Hot Pursuit is also in, so we get that as well, the traditional follow-up for Valla with that particular style that they're running here. No insanely shocking surprise there yet. Anduin again with a Desperate Prayer, so trying to pray for some extra hit points, which is usually answered fairly quickly. But we haven't seen a kill yet. Couple of skirmishers, nothing crazy, but they're playing it slow and calm. And I honestly would say that favors the blue team a bit. And as I say it, we have Blaze being destroyed, so down at the bottom of the map they're able to catch him and take him down with Tigers, which immediately puts him into the driver's seat with a 5 versus 4. So they have the chance to really push this a bit on the objective, which they should, because the longer this game lasts, Valla is gonna scale. She is gonna scale hard. So a bit of initial pressure from the red team is definitely not gonna hurt them. And they are trying to exploit that numbers advantage. Now death timers are of course low, so it's not like they can rely on it for a very long time, but they also have the rest of the team fairly low in HP. And Valla, damn, barely getting saved by Anduin. That could have backfired for sure, but first objective is taken. First objective is claimed, and Zeratul gets cleaved. 2 kills to 0 for C8. Nicely done. That leaves us with a half-level lead, an objective into their name. And if they can also, if they could kill Valla, that would of course have been the dream. Maiev trading her life for Valla's would have been fantastic, but that's not what happened. So Valla survives, has 52 stacks now. At least she can scale here. ETC by now with his proc rock on 7 stacks himself. And here comes a level 10. That gives us Hoarder pulled and a fantastic opportunity for C8. So with that, they can now come in, try and take some of these objectives or some of these forts down. Not quite sure if they can do the entire thing. Maybe down at the bottom of the map as Odin gets popped instantly from Tigers. We're not quite there yet. The first objective not really all that strong, but you can do some significant damage, and that's what they're looking for right now. So down at the bottom of the map, half the HP are already gone. We get Zeratul with the Void Prison, and we have a mosh pit as well. And Anduin is going for the words.
Yes, the best words. Best word is salvation. A lot of people don't know that. They don't think that salvation is the best word, but it is the best word. And you can take my word for it. Salvation. Fantastic word. So yeah, best words again from our boy Anduin. The man has all the words. And we're getting the bubble. They love bubbles. They go for Void Prison. They go for the Holy Word. So they got double bubble. You should probably make sure that they don't stack it too hard. But yeah, double bubble in the house. First fort has also been destroyed, so at the top they're getting some serious value. Bosses are up, so are the camps, and they're claimed immediately. And with that, we now have a bit more of an even game once again. It's a nice start for CA. Let's just not mince any words here. Insane Void Prison. Catching 4. There's the slide from ETC. Looking for the party and gets insta-interrupted. Insta-interrupt. Anduin with a bubble play behind the wall, saving the team for a hot minute, and Hogger dies as a result. So there's the kill, and that was pretty well played. Now, the experience advantage that C8 was running has now been negated. The advantage of having a fort destroyed is obviously still there, so that hasn't really changed. That fort is still gone and will give them a bit more pressure on the map, and also in addition to that, passive experience gains. Oh, Odin popped as they see that the boss is getting attacked here. Somebody's trying to buy some time and push the opponent back, and it doesn't look like anybody is willing to let this thing leash, so instead they go for ETC, and he's ETC. Yeah, that was that. So the cow is down, and I guess that's bad news for Mares My Monies, because this doesn't look like they have a chance of claiming this. So not only do they lose ETC, but they also lose the boss, and that's another opportunity to take the bottom fort out. And, well, let's face it, this thing is not gonna make it. If they keep anybody around here, the fort will fall. Nice control for C8, very well played by them. We have for Valla 85 stacks. Our girl hasn't died yet. So yeah, she's still stacking, but they're losing ground. And they're losing that ground fairly quickly. We're currently, 9 minutes in, not quite yet. But 2 forts have been destroyed. And while we are on level 13, let's not forget there's only a single fort remaining in the middle of the map. And that doesn't look too healthy either. So they are, for sure, in some real danger of losing control of this game. Could be changed if they're able to get a few kills for themselves, if they may be able to get the next objective. The prisoner camp is already up. If they can stall the game, it works out nicely for them, but at this point, it's just not really happening that way. Whereas for Team C8, they are controlling the flow of what's going on here. Nice disc. Well done by Maiev.
hiding there. Anduin, on the other hand, instantly saving ETC, gets the pull action going and makes sure that the cow is out of harm's way. So no beef, at least for the time being. Now, as that is said and done, we are getting a little bit closer to level 16 for C8, meaning they are around to hit level 15. So if the objective actually gets a bit more delayed, then we could eventually run into a situation where C8 has a talent advantage over their opponents and then makes the play. But they're already going for it even earlier than that and are starting to take full control of this because the mid lane had to be defended and now the blue team needs to try and get position around this. And I mean, they are committed, but look at the advantage that we're already having in the game for C8 just on the progress for the objective alone. Even if they stop this, which I think they will, that's a solid advantage that the red team is running, and they are also the ones that will hit level 16 faster. So things are looking once again extremely good. They're using Odin early. I mean, obviously they pop that cooldown like it's free. That's basically what's happening here. Odin's up, Odin gets used. They're trying to zone them out again, force Where's My Money to push into Odin, which is essentially happening right now. Nice VP in the back to section off part of the team. Not nice enough though, and the follow-up is not there. The disc to stop ETC's mosh pit, he's dancing alone today. Doesn't have any friends for the party. The objective has been taken. Muradin, he was low, but he gets saved by a jump and Brightwing. So now the objective is coming in, and look at how nicely they are timing this. The objective is about to hit. They will have level 16 at the time, and Where's My Money is nowhere near getting the next talent. So this is... No, if he dies now too, this would even be worse. It's already bad enough as it is. But if ETC dies or anybody else, then poof, you can absolutely prepare yourself for some serious ass kicking. So we might see the first keep fall. Some of these walls are going to be opened up, some keeps are going to be damaged. The only real question here is really, are they going to take one of these things down completely? Yes or no? And as is, they are working on it. Valla is at 127, 28 stacks. Yes, she's scaling, she's doing well, but she's losing too much ground with the rest of the team here. And you can have all the stacks in the world and all the single target damage, but if you're losing one structure after another, then the game is not really going your way. So if she can at some point totally pop off, get some kills in, maybe they can change it. And this isn't a kill-heavy game. 5 kills, 12 minutes in, there's nothing insane, it's nothing crazy. But bottom keeper's taking damage, all of the walls have now been destroyed. So yes, the situation is a bit dicey. Valla has Manticore on the other hand. And this is the first moment where she's gonna get even more damage. They have level 16 now, so the entire time they were playing with a talent disadvantage. And that made it incredibly difficult for them to hold their structures. But this is the moment to fight back. Right now, you are in a situation where you can really think, okay, maybe we can take a team fight. Maybe we now can get a kill. Focus Muradin down with Valla, getting that Manticore damage. Maybe Maiev goes a bit too far out of position. They have Zeratul for the AoE cleave that they're using now at the bottom of the map too. Valla's at 30,000 damage. Nowhere near really what Tychus is currently contributing on the red team side. But he is of course also using Odin like he doesn't have a cooldown. So a lot of damage results in that. They're getting their camp. And the red team is again rotating a little bit faster. So, as that is continuing, Muradin and his boys are again trying to take a boss that has already been shut down. Here comes the disc. Quite early. Muradin jumping in deep. Valla has to be a little bit careful here, but Muradin is also very isolated. Nice grenade from Tychus. And I gotta admit, these VPs are pretty good. So, very nice VPs. They're always sectioning off either when you want to retreat or when they want to engage. It's just that the combo around the VP doesn't really work. They tried now multiple times to initiate with a Void Prison, then use ETC for Mosh Pit. And it always gets interrupted. He's never able to catch everybody with a VP. The same is true for ETC and his Void Prison. So it is a bit unfortunate. They're really trying, but they're not getting to a point where they get a lot of value out of it. Now, as they're realizing that the position at the top is going to be a bit too tricky, they're going for their own boss at the bottom of the map, trying to make this an even trade. And now just look at the minimap and the movements that we're seeing from their opponents. C8 is trying to force this. Now, the longer they can force this fight down at the bottom of the map, the more value the boss at the top lane that they got earlier is going to get. And if they get kills here, that would be, of course, an absolute nightmare. There's the mosh pit. Brightwing is down. Finally, the combo works a bit better for them. Anduin hasn't used the bubble yet and doesn't use it to save ETC either. Yeah, rumor has it that ETC just smells bad and needs a bath. So Anduin was just like, you know what? You go back home to the Nexus. Take a bath, buddy. I'm going to see you later. So it's a kill for a kill. And again, close to level 20. And the top keep, of course, has now been destroyed. So this one was well done. C8 forcing the fight at the bottom of the map, forcing Where's My Money into a really bad spot and preventing them from hearthing back to defend their top keep. So now level 20 is ready. I mean, this is just looking fantastic for C8. They're looking so good here. A 2-level advantage, 1.5. Level 20, 1 keep already down. They themselves haven't lost a single fort. Not one fort has been destroyed here. So very advantageous for them. And yes, as is, now we have down at the bottom of the map the next objective up, and it seems like the red team is going to dominate this one again. They get the disc, this time against Blaze, hoping to lock another kill in. Valla still with only 40,000 damage, just not enough, and Blaze is gone. Blaze is gone. Anduin is a little bit too slow with his words today, so no bubble from him. And since ETC now died too, that means that both of your front laners are gone. 5 versus 3 situation on the map. Another objective for your opponent. And this looks like the potential death blow in the game. So yeah. Void Prison against 4, but you don't have anything to follow it up with. There's no stuns available. ETC is dead, Blaze is dead. And at this point in time, all that C8 wants is lock in that victory. And there is pretty much nothing that can be done about it by Where's My Money. I mean, they're already sieging up before the 2 frontliners are back. So this keep is going to drop insanely low and will 100% be taken down. Valla is 170 stacks, but yeah, what are you going to do with it? There's just nothing that you can really do here in order to put that to good use. So now the keep is gone. 2 of the armor shields on the boss are removed. The one at the bottom of the map is likely going to fall too. And they're just slowly and steadily pushing for core, trying to take this one out. Once that the bottom keep is removed and all of the armor shields are gone, this thing is going to fall so quickly. It's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, glorious position for them to be in. And I think it's fair to say that this is inevitable. We're going to see a victory for C8 as they are claiming the W in Alderac Pass. That boss just has nothing. Anduin is gone, so that's another kill. 7 kills to 3, and that is game as C8 takes the win on Alderac Pass. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Braxis Holdout, and it was confirmed. A 2-0 lead already for C8. It was actually quite funny because in the break I came in and I was like, so by the way, is it 1-0 or 2-0 for C8? And the Korean admin came immediately back with an answer. He was like, yes. Best answer. 1-0, 2-0. Yes. No, but yeah, I confirmed it. So it is indeed a 2-0 lead now for C8. Apparently, Where's My Money came back, arrived late and fairly late at that. So there was a penalty for them not being there on time, and therefore 1 free map win for C8, meaning that the first map that is now, well, this is the second map, but it could already end the series. It's the best of 5 still. But yeah, let's have a little bit of a look on what we're gonna get with that. So, Tracer banned, and so is Dehaka. Normally you would see Valla banned here, but this is the series where it might just happen, you know. Is Valla gonna get another game? Yes or no? They're hesitating. They are actually hesitating. They're hesitating a lot. And they ban Hogger. Nice, 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 nice. So, Valla, insta-pick. Valla currently, I mean, she lost in the series. So in the series, she has a 0% win rate. And it seems like C8 is going to try and change that here. But yeah. Very much so looking forward to that. Oh boy. By the way, in the meantime, guys, also, I have obviously a few more links in the description of the video if you're watching it on YouTube. First of all, Meta Madness is coming up. The community vote is still live. You will have a link in the description. And then also, in addition to that, we also have still one sponsor. I'm super happy about those guys. Holzcan, they make watches, accessories, sunglasses and stuff. I have multiple of those and they are brilliant. But even if you're not looking for anything right now, if you could click the link in the description, that would already help. Again, I personally love the stuff they have. We have a huge discount code with 15%. So if you're looking for some present for Christmas or whatnot, then check out the shop. But again, even just going quickly into the description, clicking the link for like a second helps the stream already a bit. They obviously see how many people, you know, come from a channel or from a partner. So even just the traffic alone is already helping. So click the link, jump in the description real quickly, and also don't forget to participate in the Meta Madness vote, assuming that you want to pre-ban one of the heroes there, or at least cast your vote which hero you would like to not see in the tournament. So yeah, all of that found in the description as mentioned. But right now we got in our draft for game 3, 2, 3, depending on how you're counting here, we have Garrosh and Brightwing. I would absolutely love for them to also drop Zarya into the mix, but I don't really think that that particular combo is as popular on the Asian meta side as it is in the Western meta. The ban on Johanna is something that they have now done multiple times, so they really want to remove her as a pick for the opponent's team. Whereas the blue team now with Rhaegar and Genji. It's actually really still interesting to me that Genji Anduin just isn't a thing here. It's not a thing in the Asian meta at all. They don't play Genji engage with Light Bomb. We've seen now multiple times Genji with Anduin, where Anduin just goes for the bubble. But when we're talking about just this combo, in Europe this gets banned out. If you see a Genji on the other side, Anduin is immediately one of the heroes that you're trying to get rid of. So it's fairly interesting to see like these meta changes. A lot of the heroes still have similar priorities. There's of course some exceptions. Valla is much higher in the Eastern meta. Tychus is a lot higher over here too. And certain comps just don't exist. So Falstad, Blaze, they got a couple of globals here. We have Rexa for the top lane. And a double support. Brightwing and Stukov. So double support Valla. This is way more in line with what we're seeing on the Western side. I talked about this in the previous draft. That normally when you're looking at any kind of European draft, the Europeans really like to go for double support with Valla. Sometimes it is that Uther doubling as a main tank too. But in this case, we have a full double support to keep Valla alive. And of course, to give them more sustain during team fights. And well, with Muradin in the mix, the draft is rounded out. And that's game number 2. It could be the end of the series. Again, there's that penalty for where's my money because we were late today. So let's go straight in. Game 2, 3, Brax's holdout. Match point number 1 for C8. Game on! Match point number 1. Where's my money? On the left. Muradin Blaze at the front. They get Genji and Falstad for damage and Rhaegar for them heals. Whereas on the side of C8, Valla, I would still expect an auto attack style here, especially since they have a lot of sustain with Stukov and Brightwing helping out for heals. Reset again on the support role. He's being continuously playing support for the team. Samira with Rexa is going to play the top lane, and then we got KCB rocking Garrosh down at the bottom of the map. I'm actually a little bit surprised that Valla hasn't chosen yet. Is she really considering anything else but going straight into an auto attack style here, given the lineup that they're running? That would be quite surprised. And no, there it is. So yeah, just playing it out a little bit slowly. So Valla is in Creed of the Hunter as the first talent. And while the blue team has started to attack the top side wall and immediately taken one of the towers down, we're seeing at the bottom of the map also an assault that is happening very quickly from the red team in an attempt to draw even with their opponents. And they're trading a little bit behind here, but generally they're still doing some halfway decent damage. Now keep in mind, this is actually only Valla that can do damage. I mean, like, obviously Brightwing and Stukov are chipping in a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. Top side, is now abandoned. So Rexa against Blaze is the matchup. We have stacks for Falstad at the birdie. It's a flying pig! Yeah, the birdie makes it out. And at that point, yeah, it's just the traditional... Actually, no, it's a 4 versus 3 because Genji isn't here yet. Now, I assume that eventually he is going to try and make his way back down to the bot lane and help out here. Unless they're totally willing to lose even more because they are getting forced back quickly. That second tower is now dropped. Up at the top, we still have parts of the wall standing, so Where's My Money is definitely starting to lose that particular push battle. And yeah, they need some assistance. They can't deal with this. I honestly don't know what's going on here. I mean, what's the game plan? You just want to control the top side and then take that wall down? You can do damage, but you're gonna lose that battle big time. That bottom fort has already taken a significant amount of damage right there. So yeah, Genji is finally appearing. Was even trying to sneak in the control over the beacon. But up at the top now, Misha is going to retake. Blaze is eventually going to lose that lane. The problem is simply that Rexa is just too damn good when it comes to maps like Dragonshire and Braxis, because you can split, you can have Misha going for continuous control, Rexa pushes the lanes out, and eventually Blaze has to decide what he's comfortable with, either losing the objective or he has to be comfortable taking damage on the structures, unless of course he gets help, and that's why Genji is continuously moving towards the top. But when he abandons the bot lane, it just gives the red team another chance to still go for these structures, and this is exactly what's happening. So long term, C8 cannot sustain this. This isn't sustainable for them. Now Murden goes down. He was desperately trying to keep that fort in play. Couldn't make it happen. So now they don't have a fountain anymore down at the bottom of the map. Control is again denied to Genji. And this is not a good start. Not a good start whatsoever. Valla is getting 3 stacks over here. It is always a numbers advantage for the team in red. They're now just shifting. Rexa is going to be down at the bottom of the map, up towards the top. We're going to have them attack after they take the camp here. So this is a very good situation for C8. And again, keep in mind, this is match point. Simply because this entire series started with a 1-0 for the red team, because Where's My Money came in late. And like pretty late at that, apparently, from what I was told. So therefore, they got punished. C8 got an advantage, and now the opportunity to come in and start to take this wall out. But yeah, not looking all that great. 4 minutes in, haven't seen an objective yet. Garrus is actually starting to just anchor the plays here. He knows what's going on. Is again denying the beacon, but at the top, here comes the aggression. Keep the double support in mind. A lot of sustain, and Genji has none. Genji is gone. Genji is gone. Rega is gone. And Murden is barely able to jump out of the fight before he gets dropped too. So this is not looking all that good. But yeah, with that, we now have the attack coming up towards the top 4. This one is suffering too. 7-2-6 on the level, so an extra talent is in, and now Murden is also getting destroyed. C8 is currently going through Where's My Money like hot butter through cheese. They are totally walking over them, melting them away here, and that will eventually also lead to a first objective in their name, I'd say. Genji is always trying to sneak these and move back in with this mobility, but the red team is paying attention to the minimap. They're always there when they need to. And now 2 forts are destroyed, which means that both of the fountains in the middle of the map are removed. It's so much more difficult for the blue team now to take control here. This is going to get really difficult. So good luck trying to get those beacons and keep control. Every time you got to move up. Maybe now? And yeah, they get a kill. Garrosh was looking for a throw and save, but couldn't quite come through for the team. So Stukov is gone. And well, that's the end of the Admiral. That bad boy is going to get demoted quickly. Demoted for feeding. Reports incoming. Finally a pick for Falstad's side. So yeah, they got a kill. At least that. Not against Valla, who you want to take down, so she loses some of the Gambit stacks that she got on level 1, but at least they were able to get something out of this. So with that, we have them maybe trying... they take control at the top. It's actually kind of funny that we're 6 minutes in and not a single team has any kind of progress on the beacon. I mean, none whatsoever. So right now, still attempting to steal or take those camps. Genji's all over the place, trying to see if he can maybe even take this. And the blue team is very interested. Everybody's starting to rotate in here. But it's also happening from their opponents. The red team claims the camp, but they had to abandon defense at the top, so they might lose a fort, particularly since Force had already moved up there. Down here, on the other hand, the situation is very much so in favor of C8, and they take Blaze down. Now it's a 1-level lead roughly for the red team. They will get an early level 10, which might finally result in an objective being taken. But they also lost one of their top structures. So at least they're pushing back there. Yeah, and they go for boss. And they don't quite try to take the objective, but they are realizing that there's a chance to go for the boss. Genji is immediately attempting to steal the camp away. So he is seeing an opportunity and he tries to take it. But Rexa is now up at the top. 38% has already been gathered in total throughout all of this, but the red team retakes, claims the boss, still has a massive lead in experience, and is now attempting to use level 10 to be more aggressive. Rex already using his own ult. Now they have control over both of the beacons. I guess the camp here will eventually be taken out by the towers. Nobody's moving back for now. Muradin is attempting to interrupt, and does. But that's obviously only a temporary solution. Fawcett is defending at the bottom of the map. Red team steals another camp. They're all over the place right now. They have so much here. They have full control. Thanks to the level 10s that the blue team just doesn't have yet, they can dominate this. So they are pulling ahead on the objective. Boss is halfway defended. They want more now. Muradin has to, well, be careful here. No ults for him yet. Gyro's now coming in with the rest of the team. Genji again attempting to make a move down to the bottom of the map. He's such a good tool on this map. His mobility is crazy. It's the only thing that prevents C8 from getting the first objective and the 100% Zerg wave. But yep, there it is. Also, Bloodlust. Single support Bloodlust for the blue team. Apparently, they're really trying to get those kills quickly now against the double support that we're seeing from C8. But for that, they need to have the proper engage. And here's the objective again. There's the chance, and that is it. 100% to 38. Much bigger wave for the red team. Here comes Bloodlust as they're attempting to chase them down, but it's not looking all that great, is it now? Yeah, there comes a bit of a slap. That might have saved the day for them, by the way, because Valla was ready with her Rain of Vengeance and some stuns. The Zerg wave is at the bottom of the map and is already starting to break through here. Talents are even for the two teams, but where's my money is with the back to the wall now. They're already 0-2 in the series, and now they are hoping to put their foot down and get a victory on Braxis so that they can finally put a point onto the board. But their opponent is already looking to take one of those keeps and get even more map control than they previously gathered. So here we are. All of those Guardians in the back are still active, and yeah, that is real damage on that keep. Can they get the kill? Lurking Arm, and Garrosh comes in, flips Muradin, and that is another kill. 6 kills to 1. Keep is gone. Massive control from C8. Can't stop, won't stop. They're pushing further. They're seeing if they can maybe drop another hero. It's already a 5 versus 4 advantage. Not really happening right now, so they can retreat quite easily. Should probably also try and defend the top lane, considering that they don't want to lose any hit points on the keep. Somebody has to hearth back. It seems like it's the job of Rexa to go for it. And with that, we now have 22,000 damage for the birdie and 25,000 for Valla. More damage on the top side keep than I expected, I gotta say. 40% of the hit points gone, so nicely done. Could obviously not claim it, but still, that is better than I thought they would get out of this. Now, level 13 talents are now ready. Only one that has died is Stukov with level 13. They now have also the popping pustules after the targeted excision initially. And the talent lead would help them to go into fights like this one, for example. But they're a bit too late. Yeah, Misha trying to come in, but a bit too late. Tempered by Discipline for Valla, some self-sustain. Gust had to be used to save Mirrodin. So he's gone. Has not used Avatar on the other hand. So yeah, Bloodlust has been used. That's a problem. That's on cooldown a bit earlier. We have Falstad also with his own cooldown that he still has to wait for. At least the bird is getting good stacks. He's at 98, 131 for Valla, as mentioned. But that's something where, as the game continues, you might be able to get a little bit more here. Maybe he is going to be the salvation in the late game. But that doesn't change the fact that they haven't killed Valla once. And as explained in the previous game, if you're in a situation where Valla is able to just stack it up like crazy, that is just it. And with stack it up, I mean just get your damage in right now. Make sure that you're in a position where you can actually also get some synergy with the level 16 talent, Manticore, and the extra attack speed. That's just a really nice combo to have. And so far, it seems that this is exactly what's going to happen. Because nobody has even gotten close to taking Valla down. And her progress towards the mid and late game is usually pretty exceptional if you don't stop her early. There's a reason why she gets banned so much. The Korean teams are just prioritizing her a lot more than any other team. But yeah, time will tell what exactly they can do now. So 6 kills to 1, 134 for her. We also have 11 stacks for Rexa. Not really the best progress for him with Hunter-Gatherer here as his level 4 choice. 2-lane map, can't really rotate quickly like you would be able to do on Tomb of the Spider Queen, unfortunately. But with that now, we have level 15 already on the board. And of course, with the objective being up, that's going to be the next pain point. Catapults are pushing in too, so that's another big one. And yeah, with that, the pressure at the bottom of the map is going to significantly ramp up and will force the blue team to retreat, which of course means less map control in the middle of the map, unless they're getting kills, and that's exactly what they're looking for. They're trying for Rexa, and they get him. Rexa gets wrecked, and finally some hope for Where's My Money? Kill number 2 as the blue team tries to save themselves. Their core is already under attack, but the shield has not been broken through yet. Another nice gust from Falstad, forcing the issue, forcing the fight, and making things really awkward for the red team. Look at Stukov, literally backed into a corner and taken down. So he's gone. Valla gets another stack though with 150 on her level 1. And yeah, they are getting closer to level 16, but the blue team is finally fighting back. They're finally getting some value. Look at Falstad, he's top damage in the game right now. Falstad is at 39,000 damage at this point. And yep, they are about to get the objective, so there's the comeback. They're bringing this slowly back. Valla still not dying is something that worries me. But at least they're able to get not only the objective, 100 to 18%, the minimum that you will always claim. And Falstad is also stacking nicely and gets the damage connected. They got a few kills. They are still behind again when we're looking at talents. Valla is now going to lock in Manticore, and this is where she really will punish Blaze and Mirrodin whenever they jump out of position a little bit. So this could get very interesting very quickly. Top side, Genji also attempting to poke this down a little bit further. And he got the keep. Not destroyed, but has removed another 10-15%. That matters. Blue team is really going for it now. Yeah, they want to keep their tournament alive, and that is an opportunity. I'm really just looking at Falstad and Valla mainly. Trying to get those stacks, trying to get that damage, trying to scale into the late game. Now they have level 16 as well. And that might be the saving grace for them. So now we got the Airy Gust after Flow Rider. Camp on the right side gets attacked once more. And here comes the invade. Blue team know they gotta do something. They know that too. They still have a situation going for themselves where there's no keep at the bottom of the map. There's continuous catapult pressure. Thankfully for them, they at least took the fort out, so they stymied it a little bit. But this is still a very, very nice position for the red team. The blue team, on the other hand, is coming back. That's undeniable. Question is just, is it too little too late? Can they still bring this back? Is it going to be the end of the road for them? Whoever loses here is out of the tournament. The winner moves on to the final round in the losers bracket, the consolation final. And, well, objective isn't quite up yet, so it's all about mercenary camps. All about trying to get advantages there. And I'm still waiting for the first big team fight with level 16 talents, because I want to see what Valla can do in regards to numbers now. With Manticore, with all of that attack speed, and well, here we go. So already starting to move in. So far, Falstad still top damage, and he gets a bit more here. They take Misha down, and the red team disengaged. That is a big win for them, because Rhaegar has just now... Not only Rhaegar, Genji has used his ult, and Rhaegar used Bloodlust. And those are big cooldowns that just got burned. That's fairly nice for CA. They used some as well, but nothing that comes anywhere close to have it being this important for the next team fight, and particularly not anything that has such a long cooldown. Great gust into the corner though. They're really forcing the fight here. Bunker's already out. They're trying again for Stukov, but the double support is really working wonders for C8. They keep everybody alive. Muradin, oh my god. Last second avatar, and he gets out. Falstad, stacking. Sitting at 160. They're saving Muradin again. Muradin is saved again, but they also gotta save their core. And this is where Falstad is headed now. 177 stacks for Valla, 167 for Falstad, both of them with big damage, and now the boss is about to be claimed. And boy, if they can't contest this, they're going to be in trouble. Genji is buying some time. They want the objective at least, so they want to start it up, and he does, but the boss has now been taken. The rest of the team wasn't there quickly enough. They're trying to keep them busy so that they at least get a good progress on the objective, and they have 30% already. Down here, Catapult gets attacked. Boss at the top is still a problem, and we have a few more fights over on the right side. Another gust into the corner. They keep them away from the beacons as best they can, but the top was neutralized. 6 kills to 3. Boss on the way to the top, but they get their kill. They take Stukov down. Stukov and Garrosh both dead. If you keep track, the last 4 kills all went to Where's My Money. But they're losing the macro game. They're losing the macro game. Valla with more stacks continuously. 198, nearly at 200. She's looking fantastic here. 52,000 damage, but she is still below. She's below Blaze and below the Birdie. Nowhere near the damage numbers that the two of them are bringing. So huge progress from Where's My Money, but they have now lost another keep. 2 keeps are gone. Despite the fact that they're winning these fights, they win the battles, they lose the war. That's what's happening here. So, blue team, they need this objective. They're even willing to sacrifice some points on the core, and honestly, I think they just made a mistake here. They're losing way more than they expected, especially with the catapult now coming in. Team, you do know you got a global, right? You do know you got Falstad here. What are you doing? 60%? Are you kidding me? They just lost 45% on the core for no reason. Yeah, I think they wanted to force the objective, and that didn't work nearly as well as they thought it would. Now they got to retreat again. They have 88%. They are very close to getting that big Zerg wave, but at the same time, their core is more and more in trouble. They even had an experience here. Even there, but now Muradin, yes, there's the kill. Valla finally gets her kills. Muradin down, Genji down with only 55% on the core. This is likely going to be it. Here comes the attack. Here comes the moment. Can the blue team pull off the miracle? Can they defend? Catapults already from the top lane coming onto the core. Falstad is down. And that should be a game right here, right now. The attacks are coming. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is it. Where's My Money is out of the tournament, and C8 moves on to the next round in the losers bracket. GG, and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.